Yo, yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome back.
Dang. Why?
No.
What's that sound?
Oh, man, it's probably shots fired from yesterday. Oof, man.
What
A
happened
night,
yesterday? What was wrong with
a night,
yesterday?
well, we could have done better. We could have done better. We'll keep it a buck. It was a night, one that you would like to forget. But we got another big slate ahead of us today, so we're going to jump right back into it and get this bounce back. We are not going to start off the week bad like that. No. Definitely not going to finish it bad. But you already know what time it is. You already know it's Just Cash, joined with Underrated. What's good, bro? How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's sunny outside. It's been sunny for a few days. It's kind of nice. I have my door open. Got the breeze coming in. Feels a lot better than normal. How about you over there with your beanie?
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. It's still been quite cold in the Carolinas, and right now it's fairly overcast. We were supposed to get some warmer weather this week to melt some of the snow, but doesn't look like that's going to happen yet. But we'll make the best of it and try not to have any more slip and falls because it's starting to ice back over, so that's never fun.
Yeah. Well, hopefully soon you'll get that sun because, it feels a lot better over here. But let's digress into some props. And Q Donkey's already here. He said if only Gillespie could have hit an extra free throw for us. Don't remind E or he will break something right now, Q Donkey. He already broke one phone, one PlayStation controller, 2 windows, and his piggy bank. He's angry. He's angry.
Yeah, a little bit of my soul went with that game, I mean, honestly, that's just kind of, it's so crazy to think that's the only way we've been missing here this last week, not even the last week. I mean, just the last 2 days now. It's just been stuff, 0.5 in either direction. We had Debunga, freaking Corhin, I mean, Gillespie, there was like 5 different players that just all missed by 1 or less this week. So it's unfortunate. There's no way in hell I would have been able to predict that. Not only did the team shoot like 35% or less in the first half, but I mean, he ended up tying for his season low assists, which is just beyond insane considering the fact that Nate Amit went for 26 points in the second half, and somehow our guy had 1 assist to him in all of that. So just a bit of unbelievable stuff. And, not to mention the fact that he's like an 80-something% free throw shooter and missed 3 free throws in that game. So just a weird miss there. It was definitely the right play, and we had it, if anything, wasn't just super strange in the first half. So just one of those games that they have every once in a blue moon, and we just happen to be betting on it. So we'll keep it going, though. We got some plays, some goodies for y'all today already. A couple of plays that already did bump, and a few things I think that we can also make into some nice parlays. I know Sleeper still running their promo. Was it the 100% boost?
Yes, 100% boost. You got to do 5 plays, though. So they pretty much force you to do alts, but unless you want to be crazy, just do 5 regular plays and have $20, $30, $25 to win like 1,000, but that's kind of silly.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you definitely could. I mean, we have at least 4 plays that are going to be on that site, and you can't go wrong with Jeremy Fears at 10 plus points. Even if it's a payout hit, that's something still that we can have in the back pocket. But we do got a couple plays for y'all today, and one, I guess we'll start off on that one, seeing Q Donkey bring him up. But Aiden Holloway is going to be one of our studs for the day. Now we got Bamba back at home. They like to play and really show out for the home crowd. And this line we're getting, I think, is still very generous, honestly, considering how he's played throughout the season. So we had that injury game, and then he came back and moved back in the starting lineup, but still getting in at a nice discount. I mean, he's averaging just over 17 points so far this season, and even more so at home. I mean, he's closer to 20 flat per game. You can see the Missouri matchup was the only one that he did miss, where he just ended up with reduced minutes and pretty much shot abysmal from the floor. That's going to happen every once in a while, but he's been back to his, prime self, especially putting up 19 against Florida. Got to say, very impressive because they defend 3 points so well. but he's mixing up his shots more too, which is something that I was hoping to see from him as, a development aspect. Both him and Phylon alike, he was really leaning into being just their straight up 3-point shooter the majority of last year and to start the season, but now having Right Cell back and their center being reinstated, Phylon's just being surrounded by so many different shooters and Holloway alike. He's not having to rely on just taking the 3-point shots. So love to see it. He's getting to the free throw line a fair amount here recently too, which can never be mad at that. But the minutes and shot volume, I think, is the two biggest things that we're looking for that are going to be key for us. So if you look at him just on the season as a whole, like I said, he was dealing with some injury news, and they also have had a handful of blowout games too. So some of the data is a little bit more murky. But 27 minutes is really what we're looking for, is just a baseline. That's what he plays in any reasonably close game. And on the season, you see he's averaging just over 18.5 points as it is. But home games, even better than that. We're looking at hasn't missed so far this season when playing 27 or more. And his actual scoring, he's putting up 23 points per game. So all those metrics look great for him, continuing to develop. And I think that if they can keep this game close, I do think we see another game where he actually plays 30 minutes because, like I said, a few foul games that have kind of kept it down, and then coming back from injury and the blowouts too alike have, really kept his minutes in check. Even last game, losing by 30 basically, and he still played 27 minutes. So looking for about 29, 30 minutes tonight would be fantastic, but love the pace, love the total. We were looking at a whopping 179.5 total, which is just insane. So a lot of scoring to be had here, and it's going to be one of the main guys to do it. We know it's Phylon, it's Holloway, and then kind of sprinkle whoever else is feeling themselves for the night. So we're going to take advantage of that. Payout was good. I do see, or I'm just going to interpret you're asking about the 15 plus just as like a prop by itself. The payout I know was a little bit worse. It's like 160 or something like that. So if you want to eat the payout, I get it. Maybe not do the point difference or the 0.5 difference. It's only a 1-game sample difference between his 15 or more and the 15.5 line. So, kind of take that for what you will. But I do like them both. Build stuff accordingly. If you're taking the alt line, you want to pair it with like a for sure prop, like a double under, like Houston money line, for example. Something just astronomical that shouldn't miss.
Yeah, it seems kind of low, right? I don't know why it's there. I know he's missed some. He was injured, right? And then he missed a few. He missed a few times there getting to the 16, but when he was healthy, and he looks healthy now, why not? Feels low. He's been all the way up to what, 18.5?
Yeah, he was. In the games that Phylon missed, or that 1 or 2 games that he was out, they moved him all the way up to 28.5. So yeah. The books aren't doubting his talent, but I think they're sleeping on his overall production. And like I said, this is just a line that's still at a discount compared to what he's doing for the rest of the season. And great matchup, bad defenses on both sides. So there's just going to be a ton of running and gunning here. But since coming back from the main injury, obviously traveling out to Arizona, extremely tough matchup. Not surprised he really didn't do anything. Also, Bama lost by 20. So, murky data. I think we looked that one off. They let him come off the bench here just to get the reps back in and kind of get his feet under him. And then the game right after that, we saw a close game. He played 27 minutes, went out and did his thing. So just the games, I think we got a goldfish where he got hurt last time in Oklahoma, ended up missing a little bit of time there, played bad. Well, he didn't really play that bad, but still missed some time. But the following game coming back was, the injury return game, which guys are always a little weird about. But again, they almost won by 30, so he didn't have to do anything there.
Yeah. What's A&M? What's A&M as far as giving up points to certain positions? What do they look like? I don't remember exactly. I just know that they're actually been really good. Been whooping teams' ass, playing fast. This should be a really good game. But what does it look like for Holloway in particular? Do they give up threes? I don't remember if I looked at. I don't remember. I know we looked last night, but I forget exactly.
Yeah, for a majority of the guys that are like, your 2.5, 3.5 markers, they're either getting there or coming up just shy of it. The high volume shooters in particular are at least hitting 2 or more per game. I know Holloway is at 2.5 for his 3-pointers, but they give up a pretty fair amount of threes. But they're also giving up quite a bit of free throws, which I think is something that's really great for him. And him being able to just kind of mix it up even more so, because they are just giving it up to the guard position more so than anything. A lot of production there. Any kind of high volume guards are just putting up numbers, but even the ones that are missing are coming up just shy of that too.
Okay, so we like it, man. It's too low. I don't really love Holloway, but it's just the line. We gotta play this. We have to. We must. And Ayo's here, so I mean.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? That's good, bro. No, I'd still,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, just cash. He says, just cash my brothers. That's all.
Hey, yes, sir. I think, we're just used to the traditional Alabama that we saw a lot last year where it's just two main guys. But, I mean, it still is that in a general sense, but we've just seen so much of Phylon. These takeover games from him can be kind of obnoxious from time to time, but we'll actually segue into that Phylon assist prop here in a second and kind of talk about where you can see a lot of this direct correlation. Now, we did have concern about it last time because Phylon on the road is a completely different animal. Like, he doesn't pass the ball. He's very, very shot heavy and puts the whole team on his back essentially, especially in the second half for a lot of those games. But he's a lot more passive at home, and something that, we can see with the production from Holloway at home as well. Clearly somebody's going to have a bit more of a takeover. So let's talk about Holloway or Phylon and Holloway kind of by comparison. So Phylon, his games at home look remarkably worse. I mean, he is still averaging some really bangers, but in the majority of these games, especially the ones that are close, he's really not having to do a whole lot of shooting, and especially the second half or down the stretch of the game. So his production takes a little bit of a fall off, whereas Holloway just kind of continues to climb, excluding this one return injury game right here. But here, we'll make that look a little bit different because he didn't play his minutes. Phylon, his big trade-off at home is he's way more of a playmaker. So you can see him, and the line is 4.5. Sorry, not that. So you can see just on the general sense, his average is just shy of 5 assists so far this season. But games at home look wildly different. And again, direct correlation with with the Holloway production and with right cell. He passes way more at home, whether or not the game's close or it's a blowout or anything like that. He's just more of a traditional point guard as they run it. So looking for things to kind of continue back on this trend that they've done so far this season. And again, with Alabama, the team's fully healthy again. I think they're still having one player that has been with a few nagging issues. Bowen, I mean, he's really about the only one. But other than that, I mean, the team's fully healthy. So it's not like Phylon has to do that every single night. And, if the game gets really hairy, they start falling from behind, maybe he steps it up a little bit more so. But, I mean, all season long, besides against Clemson and UK here, I mean, it's been pretty straightforward. He's a playmaker, and that's just how it's been. So I like this 4.5 line. I think it's very generous. It's kind of a mud in your eye, if you will, from last game where we had him at 3.5. But 4.5 makes total sense. They played really well against them so far at the beginning of the season. I mean, he had 7 the first time they played, so I don't see any reason why we don't go back here. And it's a great correlation play with Holloway.
Yeah, it is. I can see all this happening and coming through. It's in Alabama. They need a win. It just feels right. So hopefully it does happen like we think it is. I mean, it'd be wild if Holloway can't score that and Phylon can't get 5 assists. I know last game was Florida. That's a completely different story. Tennessee 2 games ago. I mean, they're not going to look as nice, but Texas A&M at home. We should be in for a good high scoring, hit the 3 Holloway assist for Phylon type of day. So let's talk it into existence.
Oh yeah, man, I'm here for it. And it's just hard to ignore that pace and total, man. It's just so high.
Yeah, exactly. I got to get some alt totals on this one too. You know how I did the alt total Seton Hall Villanova team totals? I might alt total Texas A&M and Alabama overs. Those are fun.
Yeah. No, I'm with that. There should be some nice ones for us today.
I mean, those honestly feel almost more consistent than player props because They basically let you alt 10 points one way or the other. They've been coming through, man. Might have to do that today.
Hey, I mean, we had a good day with it yesterday, so I don't see why not.
Yeah. Let's get back to it. All right, cool. You about to get the cover boy, Nick?
Yeah, let's talk about Big Martinelli. We get a rematch game here between Northwestern, this time traveling out to Illinois, and teams have kind of figured him out recently. I think he was playing really well to begin the season, or during the stretch here of December going into January. But teams have kind of figured him out, man. I mean, he was able to get away with a lot of single coverage and just kind of, teams more or less just letting him roam in the mid-range area. But Illinois has been really good on defense, man. Something that also I've noticed their coach has made a lot more in-game adjustments to. Like, they don't just stick with either man or zone. They do adjust as the shooters get hot and try and make the opposing players spread the ball out more, get some of the other players involved. But this is a game. I mean, if this coach has half a brain, he's going to throw doubles at Martinelli all night, the same way that they did the first time. They gave him a little bit of free reign in the first half, kind of more so than what I would have liked to have seen. But the second half, I mean, they came out and really were able to keep him in check. So I don't think they even dare him to get going here this game. I think they're going to meet him with more than likely Stojakovic or David. One of those two are going to be his defender. But the Ivisic twins or the Ivisic bros, both of the centers, should play really close in that vicinity. They might give up a few more lobs down low in that case, but I mean, still, there's only one guy that's going to beat you, and it's Nick Martinelli. So looking for him to keep that same game script here. And any night, too, I mean, Nick is pretty good about not getting into, too much foul trouble. But got to say, Illinois drawn a lot of fouls here recently, getting into a lot of scraps, and he picks up 2 fouls early. I mean, the odds of him also hitting this line is just going to be so different. But we did get a pretty good early value. He's 23.5 points, or he was. Most of the sites have him down to 22.5 now. So if you missed out on that, if you want to still run the bumps, that's on you. But that the matchup is not going to be easy. Illinois has been so phenomenal inside the paint. I think for him, honestly, the only way he's really going to be able to beat us is a plethora of three-point shooting and from the free throw line. So as long as they don't foul him a whole bunch and he gets there, 6 to 8 attempts or some just nonsense like that, I feel pretty good about this. And seeing him also kind of level out against some of these easier matchups too, can't be too mad about that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What are those ones in the middle where he's at 30, 34 and stuff? I know he got us against Michigan State, which was very unfortunate. But besides that, Rutgers, meh. Who are the other ones? Minnesota, meh.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? Howard.
Some poo teams.
And then yeah. So those are easy. And then Ohio State, we know they like to give it up to bigs. He's slightly big. Oklahoma State giving it up, and South Carolina can give it up. So yeah, I mean, we got a great shot here. I really love these type of plays. It worked with Carroll yesterday. Let's go right back to the idea. Same type of thing. Tough defense at home. One star player, they can hold them down. 24 is a lot going against one of the best defenses at home. So let's go.
No, I'm with it. I was trying to get this thing to show the actual the unders. I don't know why it's tweaking out like this. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, you can see just, killing so much production. Only more recent ones. I mean, Cooper, it's 8.5 points. That's just fortunate. He had a couple extra free throws. But Jalen, he's a three-point shooter, so he's not one of your traditional bigs. He's actually a pretty high-volume three-point shooter. And Solomon Washington, that was just an anomaly game for him because I think we had this under for him too. And he ended up with like 3 or 4 different fast breaks and a few free throws. So he just ended up going over. I think he had like 9 or 10 points in the first half with just some wild shit like that. But everybody else, I mean, we know TKR, I mean, Price, my goodness, Steinbach. I mean, these are some high volume bigs that they're just shutting down. So they did the first game. Looking for him to do it again.
24 is a lot to ask. He can start out with 6 points in the first 2 minutes and people can say, oh no, and I'll be like, so?
The only thing is, I would say there's a
You like?
there's a big unknown here. We haven't seen Northwestern really get into a blowout game in a minute. I mean, the most recent thing that they've had was the one against Penn State, which, I mean, he still ended up playing 36 minutes, which is a little crazy. But, I mean, other than that, they have pretty much played in a lot of competitive games and haven't really been the receiver of many blowouts at all. I know they've been a pretty solid team, but they haven't played any like elite teams for the most part, except for their first matchup here playing against them. Illinois put up 79 on them. I mean, at home, man, we could easily see like 70 to 95, 65 to 85, something like that. Wouldn't be surprised. He definitely gives up at the end of the game if it starts slipping. That's one thing I've noticed about him too. He'll just kind of default to the guards a little bit more.
Yep. Keep passing though, Nick. Huh? Yeah, you gotta show me. You need 24 to beat us. Go for it, buddy. Go for it, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alrighty. We got one last play to talk about today. And then one of the lean plays I at least wanted to bring up on the stream. I know you kind of found it a little bit interesting, or at least a line that makes sense and something, if a betting man was to gamble on, that would be it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about What about? Are you talking about Baby Peja? Oh, I didn't know you were talking about him. Oh, Baby Peja. Oh yeah.
No. The lean play was something else, but we are going to talk about the Stojakovic, and our boy is due for a bounce back. And 10.5 is a crazy adjustment, man. Crazy adjustment. So obviously, let's get the bad out of the way. Small red flags.
There's a lot of it.
Bit worse over
They're not small red flags now. They're big red flags.
They are, but I think it's a little bit of a different, caliber defenses that we've been seeing. So obviously Minnesota, not an easy matchup. They've been phenomenal inside the paint. Him also having to deal with Cade Tyson for a little bit unfortunate. Purdue, nightmare matchup. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Unless your name's Wagler. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Which, hey, I mean, he went out and dropped that 40 piece on them, but still, I mean, Purdue, especially on the road. So also on the road, got to take that for a huge factor. Nebraska on the road, he should have done a little bit better, but I get it. He was struggling with the 3-point shot. But Washington, also another team that's not easy to walk up and get in those in lanes or free throws or anything like that. I mean, Steinbach is really holding it down there. So not that surprising to see all of that. But for this matchup, I mean, honestly, he's got to do better than 4 points, man. The first time they played just looked absolutely terrible on the road. He had a shot volume and ended up getting his minutes cut down a little bit because of it. But I think that was honestly just a big product of the bench got hot in that second unit, and so coach ended up rolling with them.
That's Boswell time too, right? Like they don't have a choice. He has to stay. Yeah, he has to stay out there. Come on, bro. 11 points at home.
Completely different player at home. Yeah. Completely different player. So obviously, we talked about these two most recent games. The game before that was a 40-point blowout, basically blowout and blowout. But any of these games that have remained competitive. So let's talk about some other real teams that they played against here. Texas Tech, that they are no slouches. LIU, free game. But Nebraska, the first time they played when they were at home, he went from putting up 6 points on them to 19. So that's a huge night and day difference. And then even still against Maryland, same thing, played terrible on the road against him the first time, snapped off on him the second time. He has not had 2 consecutive bad games at home so far this season. It has not happened. I'll be damned if it's going to happen on our watch. 10.5 points is just too low. This guy does not go down twice.
Pause twice. Hey, and when you woke up and saw 10.5 and saw that I was pretty much saying we must do this, what was your thoughts? Were you like, oh shit, here we go again? Or were you like, yeah, let's go?
It was a little scary. I kind of had to hold on there for a second, but we got to think about the context too of his line movement that we've seen over the last couple of slates. So this is a player who went from pre-injury, he was around that 12.5, 13.5 mark or something like that. He went all the way up to 16.5 points at one point here, went back down to 15.5 points. Then he went down to 14.5 points. And then now he's at 10.5 points. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. That's a little bit of an overcorrection.
It is, but the funny part too is it's only on one site, and there's still 13.5s out there. Like, I swear there is. The first one,
yeah.
I mean, the first thing I saw, if you remember, I DM'd you. I said it's 11.5, and I was still like, oh yeah. And then I went to Outlier and I looked and I said, wait a minute, there's a 10.5 out there. And then that was when I was like, no, bro, come on, we can't play around with this guy. I mean, he sucks. And he shoots air balls and doesn't even make a face. And he just runs down the court like a robot. But we're going for it today. Come on, man. Come on. Maybe his dad will be there. His dad will probably slap him if he does. If he scores under 11, bro, his dad's going to slap the shit out of him today.
I will say, in all credit, we just need him to show up in the first half. That's really been his big bugaboo right now, is his first half production has been so bad. He's going out and playing really well in the second half, which also, got to say, shout outs. I dare them to put him at 5.5 second half points again, because we're going to play that for like a third time in a row. Mm-hmm. But he's playing well in the second half. We just need him to get some shots going, see that first bucket go through in the first half. And every time he's done that, he's had a really great night. So you were mentioning the line movement. I mean, you can see even right now the industry is wildly divided, 2-point difference in either direction. So,
and it was even, bro, I swear it was 14.5 when it opened. Am I wrong about that, or was it 13.5?
No, you can see it right here in the corner. It was 14.5. Jumped all the way down to 12.5. Briefly went down to 10.5, and then it just keeps moving around. So there's a lot of people that are jamming his unders, and I think rightfully so. If you were looking at the last 5 games, I mean, he's played terrible. Oh, yeah. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's what it is. The last 5ers. I always forget about that.
But the rest of the season, you know, I got to stick to, he's played better at home. Again, not having consecutive bad game performances at home. And this really isn't a matchup or game total that's too scary. You know, very fair game total, very reasonable matchup. And he's still playing his minutes. I mean, that's something that really hasn't wavered. I know he snuck a couple of fouls there that ended up getting him benched for a little while in the second half, but he's pretty much playing 30 minutes. And I mean, any game so far this season where he's playing 29 or more, where's it at? The productions looked quite different. So I know these are the last 5 games, but this ain't the whole season. I mean, my goodness, this is unbelievably different from all the other games. And some of them, again, you know, pretty good. We had Bama, Iowa, and Maryland. So, I mean, these are nobody teams, or not nobody teams. And I don't know, man, just way too much of an adjustment. I think we got to capitalize.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. And it's fun. I mean, plays like this are fun. I don't care. Like, I've won enough money in this to be like, you know, have a fun day sometimes, you know, put a couple units on it, put a unit on it, whatever. I personally don't care. I'm going to have fun watching him. If he airballs a few, I'm going to laugh it off. If he makes me lose money, I'm going to laugh, because he'll be that bunk and it'll be that funny. It'll be worth the money. And then if he does do good, I'll win money and be happy for him. It's win-win for me. I don't give a fuck. Let's go.
Nah, he's got us tonight, man.
I think so. It's too low. It's too low. And if he can't do it, like I said, it's just so funny. I think I already wrote him in the band channel. I don't care. We're back today. We're back. Let's go.
Another thing to kind of consider as well is the last 4 games that Boswell has been out, you know, 4 of the 5 of those were bad performances from Stojakovic. And I think that also could just be a product of them still trying to figure out the offense. I mean, we've had a couple of different games here where where a single person has just had like an above season average outing. I mean, Stojakovic actually was one of those players too. I take that back. So he's had one great game. He went for that 30 piece. But you look at the rest of the team. I mean, Wagler only 13 points. Then we had Jake Davis, who snapped off, had 12 points. I think that was almost a season high for him. Yeah, second season high for him. So an abnormal performance from him there to begin with. And then the rest of the team, David had a really great game. The rest of them were crap. But you look at the next game, okay, Wagler went for 46 points. Obviously, the team was just playing terrible. Mirovic still went out and did his thing, but everybody else played like shit. Okay, next game, looking at it, Mirovic snapped off. Wagler had a pretty good game. And then Ben, I never get any minutes, snapped off for a season high 14 points off the bench. So it's just been something literally every single game different that has happened. Last game we saw, they ended up playing really well against Nebraska. All 4 out of the 5 starters just played really great. And I mean, you can't ask for any more out of a team standpoint to see that, but he ended up being the one that got the short end of the stick. He just didn't have that kind of volume, only 7 field goal attempts. That's really, really low for him. But the team as a whole played really well, so there was no need for him to actually get the ball or have any kind of like production down the stretch. So there's been a different game script in all 4 out of the 5 games so far. And here we're just really looking for him to have an average night. That's all we're asking for. It's just an average, double-digit, play your almost 29, 30 minutes at least, no foul trouble. He should get us at least 12 points here.
I agree. Where's Wet?
Yeah, don't miss out. Hey, I know he did us dirty for that pregame bet, but we did get our money back with the second half live bets. And this matchup, I think we just got to go right back to it, man. Got to zig when they zag.
Yeah, it's too low. Let's go. We're at home. Come on, man. We got some good ones today. I'm excited. Ooh, what you got there? Ooh, what was that? Ooh, I see Q Donkey's play up there from yesterday.
Yeah.
Got a green thing by it.
Yeah, we get it. Oh, wait. He has not played yet, has he?
Yeah, he played yesterday.
Did they play last night?
I thought.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did he?
Thought.
What's it? What's his name again?
He played. Remember he played against Air Force.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I mean, yesterday definitely not a bad day at all in the mid tiers. We had a couple of plays, one push, and then Robbie ended up playing, so we did not go with that assist line, which man would have made a lot of people mad.
What did he end up getting? 2. Ouch. Yeah.
Pain. 2 out of the 3. And Robbie ended up with 6 assists. So I am very much so. If Robbie ever misses, we will take that 2.5 if it's ever available again.
Well, Q Donkey got a couple more, so that's dope that we put his play on there. And then let us know, bro, Q Donkey too, if some of these plays are plays you're gonna play for sure, or if you just want to bring them up and we're gonna talk them through. But let us know if you want us to throw them on the list, and we'll keep track of them too. It's fun. But he has a couple more whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Here, I'll just roll through these 3 here real quick because these are pretty straightforward, and then we'll chop up anything you guys got for the rest of the show, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
All right. So, Big Hannes Steinbach, gotta say, extremely appropriate line.
Yes.
Dude's just been an absolute monster. Still playing incredible minutes. Can't be mad at that as long as he's not getting any early first half foul trouble or anything like that. But so it is Iowa. I get that. A little bit slower, a little bit tougher on the defense, but this is an insanely generous line. I mean, we're talking a person who's averaging 38 fantasy a game right now. Only missed in a few nasty blowouts, and the one against Purdue. More so, he got into early foul trouble, but still was playing really, really well. I think he didn't even have that many blocks or steals. Or no, I take that back. He came up just shy of his scoring. Or was it? Damn.
What's that?
Oh, the rebounds. That's what it was. I was like, he had an abnormal something against that Purdue matchup is the only reason he missed. Yeah, he had 4 rebounds. So very, very off night on the glass for him. But he did everything else. I mean, he went over his points, his blocks and steals, and just came up a little bit shy of the fantasy. Y'all know we love Hannes. I mean, dude's just an absolute monster, especially at home. But I got to say, man, it's just these are one of those lines that are hard to ignore, and especially considering the fact, so this is one, it's only available on Underdog, but if you look at the Underdog line, see, they bumped this. He was at 29.5 PRA earlier, and that just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no way he's at 29.5 PRA with 1.5 blocks plus steal, heavy juice on the over, and you guys have him at 31 and some change. Like, he should easily be 32 fantasy. It's something that, is probably flying pretty low under the radar just in a general sense. But I mean, this is a hell of a line to pass up. Tough matchup, be damned. I mean, he's just been so consistent.
Yeah, bro, he's one of those guys. I didn't even know about him until the year started, and then I watched him a few times, and he's just continuously just been consistently amazing. Like every game, except for the crazy matchups. Today's matchup is not very easy. At least they're at home, though. I like that.
Yeah, like the home court advantage. Just keep the game close for us. Washington's been pretty good at keeping in top competitive games. It's not a team that's really getting blown out. So assuming that they can go out and do their thing, just his offensive putback ability and getting to the free throw line, that's where he shines at. So
I just remembered another one. Yates, 11.5 points. That didn't hit your radar good enough there? You're a little worried about him? I saw his minutes the last 2 games, and that made me say, you know what? He's back from injury 100%. I know Iowa sucks. Not sucks. Iowa scary. But 11.5 points is pretty low for his shot volume and his minutes right now. What do you think?
No, it definitely is. I like it. I'm just, I guess, a little bit more recency bias where he just kind of crapped out on us on a few times, but he is playing some minutes. I mean, that is undeniable. And field goal volume has looked really solid when he has had minutes so far this season. So we might have to do a little ad.
You know what it could be though is last year. I'm still thinking about when he did well for us last year. So maybe that's part of this in my mind. Where if we take that out, maybe I wouldn't even be looking at him. I don't know. Just 11.5 just feels really low for those minutes. But I don't. You know what I don't want to do? Actually, I don't want to do that because we already have one of these Washington guys. Say Iowa comes in and just puts a whooping on them. They shouldn't. It's only 2.5 point spread, but that kind of worries me having 2 guys, on the same team.
Nah, I feel you. But these are the mid-tier plays.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You convince me. I'll write it in there. Fuck it. Right. We'll just do it to follow it.
Yeah, I'm with it. And I mean, hey, if the game goes down to the wire, you got to assume at least, I mean, for sure, one of these guys is going to get there, but there's a real world they both can. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. All right, well, let's talk about these other 2 plays here real quickly, and then we will catch you guys up on the comments and questions, see what we got, and then we'll go from there.
Cool.
All right, so one of them that stood out for me, I'm not in love with the matchup, but I don't mind the defensive capabilities that Notre Dame does possess. So also that cobbled together with the fact that he still looks like he is just not comfortable with the offense at all. His 1.5 turnovers is kind of crazy. I mean, they had him at 2.5 turnovers for a large majority of the season before he got hurt. And then, I mean, you can see these last couple games since he came back here, like these aren't teams that really force a whole heck of a lot of turnovers. But the pace and him just kind of trying to get reacclimated with the starting unit now. I mean, he's turning – these are some dumb passes that I was seeing out of him, like some straight up out of bounds, miscues with a person cutting to the basket or cutting to the corner, not really knowing where they were actually going. 1.5, just way too low. I mean, he's averaging damn near 3 turnovers so far as a whole this season. Got to take a shot here. Got it. After what I've seen the last few games coming back, I got to take a shot on 1.5.
I'm with it. You're the turnover kid.
And it's Notre Dame. I mean, we know Notre Dame has been at least reasonable defensive wise. So assuming it just doesn't become a massive blowout, which I know it's still 18.5 point spread, but yeah, last game especially would not have expected him to have a whole lot of turnovers, and he proved me wrong. Okay, last but not least, we got Big Rodney Brown. So this was one that honestly was kind of borderline official play for me, but it is one of the lower echelon teams, so we're not going to get too crazy with it. But Mr. Consistent, something he's been doing all season long, double-digit field goal attempts in the majority of these games. He plays pretty meaningful minutes every single night. I mean, he is averaging 31 on the season, minus his first game, which was unbelievable blowouts. So he only played 16 minutes, but outside of that, he plays really solid minutes in any kind of close games. They did play one time already so far this season. I will say it did go to double overtime, but he did clear his line in regulation. 10.5 points is just way too low personally for somebody who's playing this many minutes and getting this kind of double-digit shot volume. I'll show you guys here real fast so y'all can see a little bit more on paper. Just also another rule of thumb that we go by: anybody whose point line is the same as their field goal attempts, I got to take a shot on it. So this last game, he also was coming off of some really bad foul trouble. Only put up 9 field goal attempts, and he ended up losing out minutes on the second half from the fouls and from the blowout. But the game script here should be fairly close. I know it's projected close. Reasonable total, not a bottom barrel speed or anything like that for either side. But 10.5 just honestly felt way too low, seeing this kind of volume and field goal usage that he's having. So I like it. He got there the first time they played. Don't see why he couldn't do it here again. And he's also played better on the road, which is something that sometimes can play into effect, but sometimes it's real. Like we were talking about with Phylon and Holloway earlier, like the home road splits can be real sometimes. But with that being said, that's what I got for you guys as far as leans and then our official plays. Underrated, you still here, man?
Oh, I am. Dang, I was muted. My bad. I was yelling at you. I was like, why aren't you talking to me?
Oh, yeah, you're muted.
I was muted. But yeah, I heard you go through the plays. Now we got Q Donkey plays to look through. Jake Hall, 15 plus. Let's see what he's talking about.
Jake Hall.
Sounds like a very interesting fellow. Jake Hall.
He's he's pretty interesting. Honestly, I was looking at this team earlier because the him and their center a bit appealing. This is going to be quite a difficult matchup, though, I got to say. U-State, not too shabby. They've been limiting a lot of two-point production in particular. If he gets hot from three, I think that is something that he can definitely snag this line. In all fairness, he's been pretty well over the last month now with that. So do need this to continue. You're definitely relying on his three-point shooting. And I think bookies also kind of know that because they're giving us fair odds to quite terrible odds on them, depending on your site here. But the points seem like they are pretty confident outside of Flip. I don't know what the hell Flip is doing, but everyone moderate confidence that he may or may not go over it. And I think it's probably just the same as the under. Yeah. So they don't have a whole lot of faith that he's actually going to clear just a straight up points, which I think is totally fine for him, but he's going to have to get a lot of work done again from three. So if you want to lean into that a little bit more, I'm never going to advocate for 3-point props, but we just need this to continue at least.
Yeah. 3-point prop.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we're doing here.
The other one that kind of stood out for me was also his fantasy. Just a different approach for it. He's a really low turnover guy. Also got to say the matchup is scary, but I'm really shocked that he's at 1.5 turnover. Rule of thumb, I try to avoid these 1.5 turnover props when possible. This was one that stood out to me earlier. But the fantasy, I think, is still something in consideration. He does get blocks and steals per game. He fills up a little bit of RA as he does, but the turnovers are pretty minuscule there as well. So, you think at least, assuming he clears his point prop, that's 16 right there. You just need 7 and some change to get over this. So, a little food for thought there.
Sturt's assists. I'm interested in this one.
Sturt's has come along in the second half of the season, man. He's it's kind of crazy to think that he was at 2.5 assists for a large part of the beginning of the season, but I don't mind the playmaking. I think matchup here, not that scary, honestly. The only thing with him that can be annoying is his second half performance compared to what he does in the first half can be a little scary. First half, he's pretty passive. He actually doesn't take his first field goal attempt usually until like 3 or 4 minutes into the game. he is quite a slow burn scoring wise, and it's something we've seen him kind of level out here with. The PA and the assist upside for him, though, I think is pretty interesting. 4.5, not a bad line by any stretch. They Washington hasn't really let teams like far exceed their assist prop. We've had a couple guys. I mean, even Braden Smith came up short of his.
Fears
Fears,
5.
same thing.
Yeah.
But I think some of that is also just off of the back of the scoring upside a few of these guys do offer. I mean, Braden here, you see he went for 23. Fears, he went for 19. So Iowa's been really good interior defense, and that's something that, or Washington has been really good interior defense. So, I mean, that is something you have to consider, like, who's he passing to? Who's going to be converting those assists and stuff from? That would scare me off of a little bit, but I mean, I think if you want some kind of exposure to that, either the PA is not bad, or even the RA for that matter. I mean, he's at 4.5 assists already, so 2.5 with a little bit of tax on it, not the worst. But again, take that for what you will.
Yeah, I'm passing. I don't hate it. He can get there, but it just feels like a little bit of a coin flip with the matchup.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm hoping they just match pace with Washington and don't really try to slow the game down a lot. That is something that Washington can do from time to time. Like, they'll slow it down a little bit, but with Zoom and Yates out there, I mean, they push the pace a little bit more so now. So I will say I do like the fact that I've seen that tick up a little bit more recently.
Okay, and then he has Yanu Dawes, PR. And also, Q Donkey, if you're here still, let us know what your favorite one is, and if you want us to put one on the list to track for tonight. It'll be fun if you want to.
Yeah, Dawes is not bad. I mean, it's a great matchup, so we'll start there. It's a great scoring upside. The rebounding is pretty decent for him. That is something he's been the most consistent with this season. His offensive rebounding could be a little bit better, but it's not a bad play. I mean, this is a great spot for him. No ifs, ands, or buts. We just need to see that shot volume stay closer to the double digit. I know he's just been extremely efficient with getting the free throw line, so that is something that does need to continue. But I like him, man, honestly. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better matchup.
Well, there you have it. Big Keanu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. I don't think we're waiting on any injury news. Let's see, who's this? Robinson. Okay, so Butler's point guard is out. I don't know if I really want to play anything on this side. I mean, honestly, it probably just helps out the assist upside from Bizjack and from Ajay. Not really sure how that's going to look with him sitting. We haven't seen that so far this season. Let's see, who got the spot start the last time? It was Jamie, I think. No, not Jamie. Oh, Yame, this guy. Let's see, what'd you do? Played minutes, did nothing. Okay, so basically a fair trade-off, not really changing much as far as Butler's concerned. This does look like a great scoring game. I'm super pissed. I did have Sellers in the queue, ready to post at 15.5 points, and we got the news that Jason Edwards, unfortunately, he's going to be out for another game, and they skyrocketed his prop from 15.5 to 18.5 points. So a little sad face there. I do like Sellers. Jameer Jones, I know, is somewhat of a field favorite today. He's all right, but really difficult matchup. He's going to have his hands full trying to contain the Jai on the other side, and also played pretty bad the first time they played too. But Sellers, Stephen Vox, I mean, one of these two guys, or Stephon Vox, one of these two guys probably have a nice solid outing. Their point props are just a little too high for me personally. I don't really want to mess around with that 17 and 18.5.
What's Jones now? Did it bump since the news too, or?
Yeah, well, at least he went at 14.5 if it wasn't there already.
Okay. Q Donkey says he's liking Sturts mostly at 3.5 assists.
Oh yeah. I would definitely play that then.
Where's he at 3.5? Let's look.
Sturtsy.
Big Sturts. I see 4.5 everywhere. Let's see. Alt line 3.5. -2 what? -220. Hard Rock.
Yeah, low 200s. Yeah, you take that with a little money line or something.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, that I would definitely play. I mean, you could even find something like, his 3.5 and Phylon for 3.5 or something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
we are getting back the get back today.
Yeah, for sure. And finding some alts on Sleeper and then finding some totals and money lines on Bowl. We're going to get it done. We got about an hour. There's a lot of games starting in an hour.
There are. So, with that being said, we're gonna get on out of here. That way we can get ready for this. Tomorrow is Thursday, so we're getting ready for a big weekend ahead of us. I don't think there is much going on Thursday. I did see they're already posting stuff for Saturday, so that can kind of tell you where we're headed.
Okay.
Yeah, they already have the Duke and North Carolina game posted up. So we will be looking ahead towards the weekend after tonight, but we'll still have some stuff going on. We'll still have streams as usual and Unrivaled on Friday. So a lot of stuff going on. Make sure you guys are here. If you haven't already, hit that like button on the way out. We appreciate every single one of y'all hanging out with us during the weekday to chop up some basketball. Join the Discord. Still running the 7-day free trial for that in the description down below. And with that being said, we'll see you in the Cord. Get ready to chop it up. Good luck tonight on all your bets, parlays, and etc. Get you back here tomorrow. Peace.